Bungie finally decided to buff trace rifles in PvP by upping their body shot damage to allow you to reach those optimal TTKs without being perfectly accurate with your target tracking. This was good news for legendary traces now that you can fully craft some of them and tune them to your liking and to your build specifically. But the real kicker is how this helps the exotic trace rifles shine, because holy cow, I was not prepared for how fun and deceptively lethal they are now in PvP. And honestly, there's never been a better time to pick these things up with all of the build integration that they have with almost every kind of subclass out there right now, and we know we've got a strand trace rifle on the way too. Cold Heart basically has built-in target lock, so you can absolutely melt people with the new body shot damage buff on top of that. I found Cold Heart to be one of the best raw dueling traces that I played with, but if you really want to have a good time, you should try a trace rifle with Atheris's Embrace, the exotic gauntlets for the gunslinger that basically give you homing knives that one-shot kill to the body. But then you've got Radiant on top of the damage buffs and on top of the intrinsic target lock of Cold Heart. I'm telling you, these things are mean now. If someone takes the time and effort to actually build around them, hey, then you need to take them seriously. And I'll get more into the build options here in a second too, and talk about Prometheus Lens and the Wavesplitter and Azure Scepter, which I'm embarrassed to say I used for the very first time this week. I never even did the quest back when it first dropped. But before I get into those, there's another thing I noticed about trace rifles during all of this, and that's that they're kinda banging on mouse and keyboard. If you're a PC player and you want to improve your target tracking on M&K, hey, trace rifles might be the play for you. I mean, I had a blast getting some of the footage for this video over on my gaming PC instead of the PlayStation. You know, I get comments in basically every video where people say things like, hey, why don't you play on PC like all the other big creators and streamers? Or they can get, downright nasty and make snide remarks about PC elitism and all that. It's just silly. But a lot of people forget that I actually mained PC for Destiny for a year and live streamed it on my PC, made my YouTube videos. The content never changed. In fact, I play more games on PC than console by a landslide. That's because having a high-end gaming PC gives me the freedom to play with my friends no matter where they are. When I log out of Destiny for the day, hey, that PC's getting fired up, and me and my wife Stephanie are gaming with our buddies from college, playing Steam games, games on the Epic Store. We're downloading whatever's available on Game Pass for the Xbox app on PC. I mean, there's so much freedom that a gaming PC allows you to have as a gamer. If you've never taken the plunge into upgrading your PC to something that can keep up with the current demands of modern games, hey, good news. I'm partnered up with Apex Gaming PCs, and you can get up to $250 off a build that's just right for you using code TRUE. I customized 3 different tiers of builds for you to choose from. Just use my link in the description or the pinned comment and see if any of these builds would be a good fit for you. There's the Red Jack build, which is affordable and will get you up and running easily and make PC gaming completely accessible to you. Then you've got the Guardian build, which bumps up your processor, has liquid cooling like my PC has to keep up with the higher demands on your GPU. And finally, there's the Shax build, which will basically put you in the premier PC gaming universe with an Intel i9 processor, a 3070 GPU, and a beefier motherboard to support extra plugins, more USB ports for accessories, etc. But the 2 most important things to note are that you can finance these PCs so you don't have to worry about a major cost investment up front if that doesn't work for you, and all of these builds are completely upgradable. PCs, I learned, are not as complex and intimidating as I initially thought that they were. I mean, I've been all up inside my PC and my wife's PC to swap out components for upgrades here and there, and it's pretty easy to learn. So check the links in the description just to have a look at those builds. Use code TRUE to get up to $250 off your new PC and get gaming, my friends. Alright, let's get back to these trace rifles. So we talked about build integration, we talked about Cold Heart, we talked about M&K tracking. Let's tackle some of these other options. A lot of people at the beginning of this season started revisiting the Prometheus lens and started posting some pretty killer builds with it that cause big booms and ignitions both in PvE and in PvP. I have to admit, this one was one of my favorites to play with this week. I tossed on the Dawn Chorus helmet on my Warlock with the Incinerator Snap and Incendiary Grenades, and I just watched the fireworks. Plus, the auto-reloading made kill chaining a lot easier as well. But I'm a sucker for explosive builds. I always have been. I mean, one of my favorite playthroughs of Fallout New Vegas was an explosives-only playthrough. And I did the same thing on Horizon Forbidden West as well. I mean, I like when things go boom. So naturally, the Prometheus lens was a good fit. It's also a good fit for a Titan who really likes running the Consecration melee ability and speccing into more Scorch stacks. You can have a lot of fun with it. Then you've got the Ager's Scepter. And holy freaking cow, man, this thing is a riot. There are so many options with this thing. I mean, I just drag and dropped it right into my cryo build for my Hunter that I posted last week, and it worked flawlessly. Getting kills slows enemies around the Guardian that you killed, and then you have all the stasis fragments that help you with various ability regeneration based on getting kills on slowed or frozen Guardians. But then the Catalyst was absolutely incredible, like being able to supercharge that beam to do more damage and more slowing and more freezing with a bigger overflowed magazine. I mean, holy cow, that's just too much fun. And really feeds my desire for that powerful space magic fix that I want from Destiny. Then you start doing like Mantle of Battle Harmony on your Warlock and charging your super up faster so that you can use that beam more often in a match. But geez, there's just so much build synergy with these trace rifles, it's ridiculous. They're like the perfect fit for people who enjoy being creative with their PvP gameplay, especially now that they've been buffed and aren't as punishing as they used to be for the user. And then of course you've got the Wavesplitter as well. I mean, this thing is nasty this season, especially because of that one artifact mod that gives you extra Void Weapon damage on Void Weapon final blows. It's like having Rampage for free on all of your Void Weapons. And then you start generating orbs to charge the trace rifle, and then you also have orbs giving you volatile rounds on your trace rifle, and then you've got Void Surge kicking in as well. You guys, have you seen it? Like, holy freaking crap. There's all this synergy, all this potential. It's absolutely bonkers what you can do with these things right now, and it's so accessible. Like, you don't even have to think long and hard about it. You don't have to be super fancy with the way that you play either. You just point and shoot and profit. There's so many cool things you can do with these trace rifles right now. I highly encourage you, hey, take the time this week or next week to at least try one of these out again. Revisit them, take a few short minutes to conjure up a basic build, use any of the ones that I mentioned in this video, or if you want to make a bigger investment with even greater rewards, then search on YouTube for a trace rifle build that you can copy, because there's a ton of great content out there from creative build crafters that take these things to the next level. And you'd be a fool to sleep on these things and not give them the chance to impress you again. So get to it, and let me know in the comments section what trace rifle builds I need to try. If you've come up with an absolutely disgusting way to build around Divinity, let me know. If you got a nasty Acacia's Dejection and you made a build around it, hey, share that with me in the comments. I want to know what I need to be looking for on that thing. If you've got a killer Hollow Denial build, I want to know about it. If any of you share a build that sounds intriguing and I end up liking it, I just might give you full credit and make a video showing it off. We'll see. It depends on how nasty your build suggestions are. Hey, thanks as always for tuning into the channel today. I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to leave a like on it and subscribe for additional Destiny 2 content. Thanks again to all the new subs on the channel. I see you, and it means a lot to me that we're making a strong push towards that 300,000 subscriber mark. And a big thank you to my Ride or Die subs who have been with me for years. I love you all. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.